thallkristhall here. Give me one moment, everybody. I'm going to take a quick break. I will leave the stream up for you guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am back. Sorry about that. We had a little bit of a situation. We had a player drop, but did not actually drop from the tournament. So as a little update here, Snorlax is actually 3-2. So they are sitting nice and pretty for trying to get into the next phase. If they can win their next game, they will be in phase 2. So looking at the results here, I haven't really been paying attention, but it does look like that the Eternatus player has blown up, getting that power accelerator off and getting an extra energy down. Unfortunately not on that active like he's trying to do, but he could go for the Moltres or go for the second Eternatus, but it does seem like he's going for that Moltres for the extra for the attack there. All right, Cynthia and Caitlin, it seems like RaZa is having a little bit of an issue trying to get himself set up. So RaZa is fighting right now extremely hard to try to make it to phase 2. They have 2-2, and if they win this, they will be able to make it to phase 2 as long as they win their next one. And Hall here is 3-1. If they win this, they are guaranteed to get into phase 2. But if they lose and they win their next game, they will definitely go into phase 2 as well. So very interesting dynamic here to see how hard these players fight to try and get into that second phase here and win those ETBs. Alright, looks like he's seen a situation here where he can try and get some damage down on that Zamazenta with the Moltres V here. Get that full screen for you guys. And Zamazenta responding by getting another energy on it so that way he can swing for 150 or 130. Or is it 150? Oh my goodness, why am I blanking on that? I shouldn't be blanking on that. $130. I had it right the first time. And in comes Intrepid Sword. He actually promoted the Zacian V. Quite the interesting play there. Unfortunately, it looks like our Eternatus player is a little stuck. He's got no bench room, and he's looking to find an Eternatus VMAX to start dealing some heavy damage. Very smart move by RZA, though, as Moltres V does require it to do 30 damage to itself every time it attacks. If it does that just enough, it'll put itself in knockout range for Zamazenta V to get the knockout, leaving Hall with pretty much nothing to respond with. So that is quite the move there, to get him in a position where, you know, you might be able to knock out my Zacian V, but you're going to hurt yourself a lot more, and I'm going to get you knocked out, and you won't be able to respond to my Zamazenta. So that is actually a very, very good move that he decided to go with. In comes the LucMetal, so he's gonna try and get rid of some of this energy and make him slow roll this Zacian or this Moltres V at some point, and he heals the Zacian V with Malolana. So now he has put the Moltres V in quite the position where if he attacks with it, Moltres V's get knocked out. But if he attacks with Moltres V, he'll get knocked out. And there's the double knockout. He actually goes for it. I'm just now realizing too, Hall was a team challenge player for the summer 2021. That was quite the tournament. Unfortunately, my team got busted in week 2. We didn't get to play when Chilling Rain was legal, so kind of a bummer, but it was quite the experience. Super fun, super fun tournament. So that tells me that Hall here has gone through the ringer, as he had to fight quite a few people just to get his placement into a team, as you did have to win a qualifier just to be on the team, and then go and fight other stores around the nation. It looks like he got Marty, got himself another hand here. RZA getting himself another Zamazenta, saying, look, man, I just knocked out your Moltres V. I'm going to get this thing built up. There's really nothing you could do about it, and you're just going to have to take it with a grain of salt. So kind of a nice move by RZA there, really playing to the weaknesses of an Eternatus V deck, Eternatus VMAX deck, forcing the Eternatus player to rely on playing Moltres, which isn't a bad move considering that, you know, the Moltres does have to hurt itself just to be able to do any sort of damage. If he attaches the energy to the active Eternatus, if he tries to attack with Power Accelerate, it's going to do no damage. Yep, 0 damage thanks to LucMetal's GX attack Full Metal Wall, which with 1 energy, when used, makes your Pokemon take 30 less damage per attack, but also with 2 energy on it, it actually discards all the energy on your opponent's active Pokemon, so quite the good card. LucMetal's also able to stall up to 60 damage if they got things like Metal Goggles attached as well, so it's still a very decent, very relevant card to see in play, even in today's format. You have a good deck. That is Thrall realizing, hey, I'm going to have to rely on top decks for the rest of this game. Both players showing off their sportsmanship there. Absolutely beautiful thing to see. You love to see players that don't get too upset and too salty and too hurt when they're not in a good position. I mean, both players here, they know what's on the line, but they're here to also just kind of like have fun and meet people in the community here in the Virginia group, and get some fun plays in. It's nice to have something that kind of brings all of us together after COVID-19 kind of closed down play Pokemon, and we're still waiting on word on when that's going to open back up again officially. So running little tournaments like this and getting the community together is very important, as we have a lot of new players, we have a lot of people that are getting interested in playing again, and I think this is one of the best ways to get that done. I got 1 turn killed. I had a really bad starting hand. Oh no! I'm sorry about that, Chris. Let's see here. Not much I can do here, LOLOL. Yeah, he's starting to realize it. He's like, oh, well, I'm relying on top decks, and you're just going to keep pinging me. So it looks like RZA might be able to take game 1 here, no problem. We have 4 complete matches. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, Gibby taking no L's today. 15 points, going undefeated so far in the first half of the tournament with Shadow Rider, Calyrex. We also have Matthew B going 4-1, securing his spot into phase 2. He is playing Eternatus, unfortunately making Sexual Fetus not get there. That poor player who had to fight his way through Snorlax and had to fight his way through Decidueye. Very unfortunate. It does look like TO9 did get their win. They're at 3-2. So if they can win one more, both of these players, if they can win one more, they're going to be sitting nice and pretty in phase 2. Noah and Pokerev still playing their games, and Thrall and RaZa are the games that we are watching right now. Watching it all unfold currently. So while we were looking over that, just to kind of keep ourselves caught up and keep you guys caught up, it looks like that the Eternatus player did get themselves back into a much better position. They are able to get themselves a built-up Eternatus VMAX, but unfortunately it can't really do much against... Oh no! Eternatus V has been running into Avery's left and right this entire tournament. That is so upsetting to see. To diminish the firepower of an Eternatus VMAX is an extremely important thing. I mean, to diminish the firepower of any Pokemon is extremely important. But Avery fits so well in LucMetal when LucMetal is already taking 30, 60 less damage. Sometimes up to 100 less damage or 90 less damage if they're playing things like certain like metal coating and stuff like that. So they have ways around just not getting hurt at all. Metal coating barrier? Metal barrier? Is that what it's called? Something like that. I'll find it for you. I'll find the words. But fortunately for our Eternatus player here, he does have a Crobat V that he can get. Try to build the firepower back up of this Eternatus VMAX, but it's quite unfortunate as that Zamazenta V is just ready to go. He's trying to determine here who is worse to try if he retreats. Is it Zacian or is it LucMetal? And I think he's decided that the Zacian is actually worse for him in this situation, so he's going to try and get that thing knocked out as quickly as possible. Going for the Dread End here, and unfortunately it's just not enough. If he did not have the Cape of Toughness, he would have been good to go, but it does seem like he got the knockout here with Zacian being in the active. A little bit of a miscalculation there, but hey, we learn by playing. So there is the concede, kind of like a big handshake. Well, it doesn't really matter, you got the attack off anyway. But there's the handshake, good to go, and they are going to be going off to game 2. There are still 2 other games being played currently. This being one of them, and the other one being a Calyrex V matchup. It's Calyrex versus Calyrex. Thall choosing to go second here, which as an Eternatus player you want. Alright, starting with Yveltal is actually not too bad, as you do have the free retreat, so if something goes a little wrong or a little wonky, you can just keep the Yveltal in the active, so not a bad choice there. Very good move. And his opponent starting with that LucMetal. So it looks like our Eternatus player is trying to build up a lot of board dominance here. Get the board presence he really needs by getting the extra Eternatus down. I think he's starting to take into consideration the fact that Avery is such a problem for him. But he's going to go ahead and get an energy down. Try to get that power accelerator off, I believe. Get that extra 30 damage in before he can't get 30 damage in anymore. Due to Full Metal Wall being activated once the GX attack goes off. So I think That's probably the best move that he can make. Unfortunately, that is sad to see. It's very unfortunate. As I do have access to see their hands, you guys don't. But that is very unfortunate to see. He is, it looks like, trying to get another Crobat to get more cards in his hand for later on. But it's looking not so pretty for him. Yep, there he goes. He confirms to get the Crobat. He decides that, yeah, that's probably pretty well needed right about now. And yeah.
It's just messing up.
So he went and he got the attachment for that Full Metal Wall to be perfect. I'm getting talked to now that my mic seems to be a little quieter all of a sudden, so let me turn that up a little bit. You guys are just all on me, and I appreciate you guys trying to let me know so that way it becomes a little bit more enjoyable for you guys to watch and listen, so I appreciate that. So it looks like that he has no energy pretty much anywhere, so that attachment is pretty useful. Getting that darkness energy in the discard isn't the worst thing in the world, as he does play the Moltres V. He is able to get that energy back onto the Moltres. But now he's kind of going to have to decide what to throw away here, and he's choosing to throw away another energy just to get that Moltres V pretty powered up. And there goes the Dire Flame Wings, so he is going to accelerate that and then transfer that over to the Eternatus V. He's kind of considering his option. I think he's doing some math here. 30, 60, 90, 120, 150. And then you got to add the actual active. So there's 180. Then you got to subtract 30 because Full Metal Wall. So he's only going to be doing 150 here. Quick maths. Quick maths when it comes to the Pokemon TCG. Well, there comes down the third energy. It does seem like RaZa is unfortunately got nothing in his hand and is relying on just the LucMetal alone and the Lily's Pokédolls keeping him in the active here, keeping him alive. So he's trying to keep himself going, but unfortunately I don't know if it's going to be enough. There he goes. He goes and switches his energy over. And gets the knockout on the LucMetal. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. He's getting himself 3 prizes, making RaZa rely on just those Lily's Pokédolls. And I'm assuming some top decks because he hasn't played a supporter last turn. So he's top decking the rest of his way to victory here. And there's the pass. I guess he didn't get what he needed. This is exactly what our Eternatus player needs right now. If he can go ahead and get 3 Zigzagoons, get a knockout on the Lily's Pokédoll, and then knock out the other Lily's Pokédoll, he's going to be sitting really pretty. He's going to get a win here, and that'll be a very, very quick game too. There's the quick ball. And he's going for a Crobat V. He's really trying to get the Zigzagoons, but unfortunately if he puts that down, he's only going to be able to ping one more Zigzagoon. He didn't get it, but at least he's got the presence now. He's going to go ahead and dread end. 240. If his opponent doesn't top deck anything, I think he's got game 2. Well played. There it is. Oh, he got it. He actually got it. That is super unfortunate. Sometimes when you're just playing this game, you get absolutely nothing, and these are the situations that happen. So they will be going off to game 3. Very exciting stuff. So here we are in game 3. He's going to ask his opponent if he wants to go first or second, because if you guys are not familiar with how best of 3s work, during the first game, when you flip a coin and determine if you're going first or second, you rely on the coin. But as you progress in the best of 3, the loser of the game actually gets to choose if they go first or second. So that's why he's asking, do you want to go first or second? That's the spirit of the game. That's how it works in these best of 3 situations. For anybody curious who's not very familiar with how tournament structure works in best of 3 format. Here we go. There's an Eternatus for him. That is actually very good, and it's almost looking like a mirror match minus the Yveltal. Only starting with that LucMetal, nothing else on the bench. Cobalion GX. That is an interesting card. You rarely see it. Its ability, I believe, allows your metal Pokemon or Pokemon with metal energy not to be affected by special conditions, if I believe, or if I'm thinking correctly. So hopefully my memory's serving me right. Not really a big deal in this matchup, unless you consider Crobat to be a big deal. But in situations where you're playing against like Pikarom and they start switching around and paralyzing and stuff like that, then it can become quite the clutch card. Well, he's not looking to be in a bad position here. It is unfortunate that his opponent did not get an energy down. He does not care about tossing away those energies, though. He does have the Moltres to be able to bring him back. No problem there. It is quite unfortunate, though, because when he did do that, he did not have the energy to accelerate with Power Accelerator, so that is a little bit unfortunate. So his opponent seems to be wondering what the next best move here is. Going with a Crushing Hammer, which hits. Again, this is one of those situations where it's like, yeah, it's great, you got it off the Eternatus, but you have the Moltres V to just accelerate that discarded energy. So Dire Flame Wings, here it is. Going for the Great Ball, probably trying to find Eternatus VMAX, but only finds 2 Zigzagoons, so he's going to go ahead and play that Zigzagoon, I'm assuming. Yeah, there it is. He's going to ping something. There's the LucMetal. Easy 3 prizes if he can pull this off just right. And he's starting to debate here. He knows that his opponent hasn't played any supporters, so he's not sure if he wants to give his opponent anything. But he's just going to go for it. He's just going to go straight for it. Make him shuffle those 5 cards and draw 4 new ones off the top of his deck. Seems to be a little bit of an issue there. It did freeze for a second there, but he is playing the Quick Ball, or the Great Ball, and getting himself a Zigzagoon to ping some damage down on a, I'm suspecting, LucMetal here.
You okay, buddy?
Nope, he just decides to throw it away. Yeah. He is searching through his deck, and oh wow, he's realizing that he is not sitting pretty on his the amount of Eternatus VMAXs that are in his deck. And he's going to go ahead and pass the turn there. His opponent, I'm assuming, trying to find another energy. There it is, so that way when he uses the Full Metal Wall, he'll discard all of those energies off of the Moltres V. There it goes. They are all gone. He does get the energy switch, though, which is very nice. But will it help him? Yep, he's going to utilize it to throw it on the Eternatus V on the bench and switch out to that Cobalion and play Crobat. He is digging. He's trying to find that Eternatus VMAX. Doesn't get it. Oh, that is very unfortunate for him. Unfortunately from that just means he has to pass turn. He's sitting in almost the same situation his opponent was in game 1. There's the switch, though, making the boss almost useless. Steel Fist comes in, does 50, and he's going to accelerate an energy from his deck onto his LucMetal. He's got the switch in hand. Yep, he's going to give the LucMetal the Zigzagoon to play around with while he accelerates an energy and just passes it off to him, giving him the sad face. I know, it is extraordinarily upsetting when things like this happen. You play so well, and things are going so right for you, and then all of a sudden, it just, nothing is working. But there's the heavy impact for, I believe, 150 damage. That Zigzagoon is down for the count, and now he's going to have to figure out, well, who's the next pawn? All in the meantime, too, he's trying to figure out exactly how he's going to get a knockout as well, considering the fact that his Pokemon had taken 30 less damage. Very smart. He uses the Quick Ball and grabs nothing to kind of power up his Crobat for full efficiency here. And he does get the Pokemon communication. So he's guaranteed himself a Eternatus VMAX. That's exactly what he wants. There it is. It's out. Now, how is he going to switch? Is he he's most likely going to attach and switch, but yeah, there he goes. There he goes. He's attaching and switching. So he's going to be doing a nice, cool 180 here. Putting that pressure on, as LucMetal is worth 3 prizes. And if he cannot respond and get something else built up on the bench, he might be in a very drastic and horrible situation here. That being RaZa. Bird Keeper, so he's trying to keep him safe, throw him back on the bench. But with swinging 180 damage, that Cobelion pretty much does not stand a chance. But he is trying to get a Zacian built up so he can put a lot of damage on that Eternatus VMAX and put Thall back into a situation where he feels some sort of pressure where the Eternatus isn't safe. I've got a 3-prizer out when my opponent's already taken 5 prizes. Not a good situation. But he is providing him the Lucario and Melmetal there. Probably to swing 150 and then come in with the Zacian V and go for the knockout with Zacian V. Jerry Litchfield, you seem to have a knack for commenting. Kudos. Well, I appreciate it. This is my very first time trying to bring this stuff live to you guys. There's the Mallow and Lana, so there is absolutely no way that he's getting the knockout on that homie in the back there. But here comes 230 damage straight to the Eternatus VMAX. So if he can't start finding a way to deal a lot more damage to his Pokemon and keeping his currently active Pokemon a little more safe, he's going to be in quite a bit of trouble here trying to give up a 3-prizer for a 2. So he's trying to figure out what his angle is here. Either switch into Crobat or switch into the Moltres V. He's not quite sure because he knows that if he keeps the Eternatus VMAX up in the front, he's just giving up 3 prizes for a Pokemon that he may or may not even be able to knock out. But there's the switch. He's going for the Aura Burn for 160. He knows that Zacian V cannot attack next turn. So he's trying to put some a big pressure onto his opponent here. But it seems like he's going to switch. There's the switch. And he's got a Metal Saucer, so he's got that Zacian V back built up. See, what he was trying to do was what Thall was trying to do was put Zacian V in a situation where it would get knocked out next turn as he couldn't attack. And then when it gets attacked and knocked out, he would have to promote the LucMetal and then knock out the currently active Pokemon. But yeah, that's just not going to happen this time as Moltres goes down, putting RaZa down to 3 prizes, and with a Eternatus V with 230 HP gone from it, it seems like it wouldn't be that far-fetched to get the knockout here, considering that if he can find himself a boss or... Yeah, if he can find himself a boss, he's pretty much got it there, so... He is really trying to figure out what the right move here is. It's a difficult one to figure out but he's going to go for Venomous Fang, which is only going to do 40 damage, but it is going to poison the Zacian V. Unfortunately, that Zacian V, I believe, has 270 HP due to the giant cape that is attached to it. And out comes the Zamazenta V. That is going to stall his his Eternatus VMAX. So that is quite unfortunate. Noah screaming no in the comments here makes me want to check exactly what happened. Tournaments in progress dashboard. Noah, you won your last game. Congratulations there, but it does look like that Eternatus VMAX is in quite a situation here. And it looks like it's going to be all over for Eternatus VMAX, ladies and gentlemen. Getting a knockout on Zacian V only gives his opponent the opportunity to promote a benched Pokemon. Getting a bench Pokemon out. So, unfortunately, you know, knocking out that Zacian V, it's only going to bring that Zamazenta or that knocking out that Zacian V, yeah, you're going to get 2 prizes off of that. But, unfortunately, what's going to end up happening is he's going to promote that LucMetal or he's going to promote that Zamazenta V, and that Eternatus VMAX is just going to go down. And with only 1 prize left, I mean, it's just not happening. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. He gives us the well played, telling his opponent, wow, you kicked so much butt. There wasn't much I could really do. Take your win, and let's go on to round 6, the final round in all of this. It is quite unfortunate for him. So he plays the Avery, even though he pretty much has it here. Oh, he's just going all out now. There it is. There's the tackle, and down goes Eternatus. So before I end this round, I'm gonna let my players here know that we're gonna take a quick 5-minute break.
No, there's still one more match, buddy.